this corner, weighing 142 pounds, the undefeated champion of the world, Mr. 217.
MMA, hey, MMA, hey, MMA, we gon' punch you in the face. Hey, MMA, hey, MMA, hey, Mayhem Radio, we turned up in this place. Hey, off the ropes, with a chair, fight dirty, pull her hair, MMA, hey, MMA, hey, Mayhem Radio, we turned up in this place.
He hits him with the right, he hits him with the left, he ducks, uppercut, another uppercut, a punch to the right, he's out, KO, and Mr. 217 is still the undefeated champion of the world.
MMA MayhemRadio.com.
On this episode of Sitting Down with Storm, my guest is no stranger to the cage. He's a well-balanced fighter that can get the job done with his fist or by making you tap. And he'll be fighting on February 1st for MaxxFC 23 Rumble in Paradise in Daytona Beach, Florida. Don't make him mad or he will turn on beast mode. MMA Mayhem Maniacs, welcome Andrew Beast Mode Whitney to the storm front. Andrew, welcome to the show, my friend.
How you guys doing? How you doing?
You got a big fight coming up on MaxxFC 23, and word on the street is saying that your opponent, Chino Duran, dropped out. What's the circumstances regarding that whole situation?
From what I'm hearing is Chino Duran got injured early this week, so, they're trying to find me a replacement right now. We'll see what happens,
Being a fighter, it must be a little bit frustrating. You can't avoid your opponent getting injured and having to step down. If the same thing happened to you, you'd probably have to do the same thing. But how do you get refocused knowing that you have no idea who your opponent is going into February 1st?
Really, if it's Chino or if it's somebody else, at the end of the day, my mindset says I'm ready to fight. My body says I'm ready to fight. It really doesn't matter who steps in the cage. We was preparing for a certain style, but, I'm pretty well-rounded when it comes to fighting. So, wherever the fight goes, I think I feel perfectly fine to fight whoever.
You talk about being prepared. Uriah Faber always said that if you're training all the time, you're always prepared. And he's going against Hendon Morale coming up. And I have to give you credit on that. If you're a pro fighter, you need to be always ready to go. Tell me a little bit about yourself. What's your background? How did you get involved in the world of MMA?
Really, I was just an all-around athlete growing up. I played football, basketball, baseball, I ran track. I wrestled in the 7th grade, but it isn't nothing to brag about. I did a little bit of boxing when I was younger, but, for the most part, I was just pretty much athletic. I met a guy named Jesse Zayin, and he introduced me to fighting, and, the rest is history. I loved it. He kind of dominated me the first time I went in, and I'm the type of guy that if I get dominated at something, I have to learn whatever it is. So, I learned it. I wouldn't say I mastered it yet, but I don't think I'll ever master MMA because you learn something new every day. But I've gotten pretty good at it, and the rest is history. I'm ready to take on some of the best guys in the world.
Definitely want to take on the best of the best and prove your worth. To me, you're an all-around fighter. I mean, you look at your record. You get the job done evenly with your fists, and you get the job done evenly with your submissions. What, in your mind, would you rather do when you step into that cage February 1st at MaxxFC? Do you want to finish him with a tap, or do you want to knock his lights out?
Andrew Whitney is always coming to knock you out. That's just the bottom line. I come in to finish fights. I really don't care how I get it done. If it went my way, I would rather knock you out.
Yeah, definitely. You like to get the knockouts, you get the bonuses, you get the fans all revved up and excited with the KO. But the tap-outs are great in their own right. You get somebody into a position where they're not comfortable and they tap out to you. That's a great feeling as well. Tell me a little bit about who you're training with now. I know in the past you trained with Springfield Fight Club. Am I correct on that?
Yes, sir.
And now, where are you currently training today?
I am currently training at American Top Team Coconut Creek.
American Top Team Coconut Creek. They got some outstanding talent over there. Who's been helping you get ready for this fight?
Everybody helps out everybody at American Top Team. That's why I love it. It's kind of like my gym in Springfield Fight Club. It's a family atmosphere. Dustin Poirier, he sits in and coaches from the side. Mike Brown, Nick Lentz, Pahumpa, my head jiu-jitsu coach, is actually putting a lot of time into me right now. Feels like he feels like I could be something special in the next year and a half. He's putting in a lot of time. Conan, Tail, my boxing coach, Mikey Rod. These guys, day in, day out, on top of me, my strength and conditioning coaches, Brian Harris, Cody. You know, these guys, they make me the best I could be.
And that's definitely great when you are involved with a family-type atmosphere. I guess you being a part of a training camp, just like being on a football team, you guys have to work together to bring each other up. You know, however, it's an individual sport, but when one of you wins, everyone wins.
Yeah, and you know, it is an individual sport. Nobody goes into the cage with you, but you take your whole team in your heart with you. When Dustin Poirier puts on a good show in the UFC and beats a guy like Diego Brandao, you know, he brings that chemistry back to the gym, or I think I used the wrong word. He brings that energy back to the gym, and everybody wants to keep on continue winning like that. You know, everybody wants to put on shows like him, or you know, you get a guy like Nick Lentz or a guy like Robbie Lawler. You know, when these guys are putting up wins like they doing against the best guys in the world, when they supposedly not even supposed to do that good, you know, it keeps the good energy going. It is an all-around team sport.
And Andrew, if you have to have any addiction in life, winning's not a bad one to have.
Yeah, that's true.
So, you know, I was in Kansas City for Invicta FC 7, and I had the honor and privilege to interview a person that I think you know that's pretty close to you, the Tiny Tornado, Tisha Torres. You guys train together?
Yes, we train together.
Now, how does that work? I mean, I'm sure both of you, when she's going out to the cage, you're cornering her, and I don't know, does she corner you when you go out?
No, you know, we pretty much separate our relationship from the gym. We keep home at home and gym at the gym. I was going to go to Kansas City because I'm from Kansas City, but I was going to go to Kansas City to help corner her in her last fight, but I had to stay ready myself, so I wasn't able to make her fight.
Right.
So I stayed in Florida and just watched her TV. But she will be flying. Like, she flies out often, and then she comes back a day early just to watch me fight in Daytona.
And that's what relationships are all about, man. Especially when you have a relationship with someone with the same interest as you have, and her being so successful like yourself. That's a match that cannot be topped in my book. Hats off to you.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, no problem. I like Tisha was great. She's going to be on Tough 20, right?
Yeah, she'll be leaving May 18th.
So you're going to be without her for how many months?
About a month and a half, 6 weeks.
All right, and then, you know, you got to be excited for her. But let's talk about you. MaxxFC, I know you fought at Titan Fighting Championships. Talk a bit about this promotion, MaxxFC, and what they bring to the table as far as your career goes.
MaxxFC is great, man. They've been treating me real good. They've been promoting me pretty good. You know, this is my first main event spot. You know, I always love fighting at the Kansas City and Titan Championship, but they under new management right now. We couldn't get a deal done with Titan. They couldn't bring me home and pay me what I wanted to be paid. But MaxxFC, you know, they pay me what I need to be paid. You know, making me the main event, making me a priority. You know, I can't talk MaxxFC up enough. I'm excited to fight for him and ready to get another win.
Fans, you're going to want to check out Andrew on Twitter. You go follow him at Andrew Whitney01. If you don't, I'm going to punch you in the face. Andrew, being the main event and being on top of your game, I'm sure this is your full-time job, correct?
Correct.
So what did you do beforehand, before you got that full-time gig working MMA 24 hours a day? Did you have to work a regular job like the rest of us?
Yeah, I actually worked at a place called Reliable Chevrolet in Springfield, Missouri. I was a service advisor, so I dressed up in a nice button-up shirt every day. I tucked in, and I worked at a computer all day. I was still fighting. You know, I was training in between my work time.
How mentally draining is it to work a full-time job and to be training and then to fight? How mentally draining is that, and how do you lift yourself up each and every day and say, hey, I got to get this done?
I don't know if it's so much mentally draining. I have a little boy, and when I used to have to get up in the morning, run him to daycare, because I had to do my strength and conditioning at 6 o'clock in the morning, drop him off at the babysitter. So it's more mentally draining when you have a kid, because
right.
You know, you have a screaming kid in the background. But if it's just working and training, it's fine. But with the baby involved, it was more mentally draining. I didn't find it.
Yeah, it's a rewarding experience as well. And, you know, hopefully your little one grows up. He's obviously, or she's obviously going to look up to you and hopefully be where you're at or even better.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be the whole plan. But I want to go back to Titan Fighting Championship. You lost a decision against Cody Gibson last August. I know in a lot of sports, people take things from their losses. What did you take from that loss? And how have you improved since then?
You know, I'm actually smarter. Like now being down here in South Florida, I'm actually learning the business a lot better. And I have always been one of those guys in my career that, you know, I've never had full training camps to prepare for fighters. You know, I fought tougher guys than Cody, like not taking anything from Cody, but, you know, I've fought like a guy like Jose Vega. I had a full training camp for Jose Vega, and I knocked him out in like 2.5 minutes. And they were supposed to be like my step up in competition. Learning the business down here is you just don't take fights, just take them, unless it's in the UFC, you know?
Right.
You know, I'm 9-2. I should be 11-0. I've gotten a lot smarter when it comes to the business aspect of MMA. Plus I went back to the drawing board and know if I do get, you know, a 2 weeks notice fight, make sure I'm ready. And that was make sure my chain wrestling, my chain grappling was 10 times better than what it's ever been. So we worked from that. We went back to the drawing board because Cody, if you look at the fight, he didn't do nothing but lay on me.
Right.
But still, he was able to lay on me, you know. And in MMA, nobody should be able to lay on you for that long and you not do anything about it. So we get it to where I scramble a lot better. I chain grapple a lot better. I don't think nobody can lay on me right now anymore.
And you're known for finishing your fights. Do you think 2014 that maybe the fight commissions or they need to look into, hey, if this guy's laying on this guy and he's not active, not striking, maybe just trying to catch a breath, that they should stand him up after 5 or 10 seconds?
Yeah, you know, I mean, you go back to the Nick Lentz-Chad Mendez fight, you know. Nick Lentz is a good friend of mine. You know, I felt like he was the more aggressor in the fight, but Chad Mendez would take him down. They look at takedowns as winning a fight, but Chad Mendez did no damage. He takes down and lays on you, you know. So, you know, I think that if you aren't doing any damage, if you're not even moving, if you're just laying on somebody, stand and fight up after 10 seconds, you know.
Right.
But it is an art form of taking someone down and working, you know. I see a lot of fans boo when there's actually a technical grappling match going on. But if there's not a technical grappling match going on, and you're just laying on somebody and just trying to catch your breath, I think the fight should be stood up.
And not only that, you know, the fans do pay quite a bit of money, and they want to see action in the cage. And it's got to be totally frustrating when you got a guy on top of you, not doing anything. You look it up at the referee and saying, what the hell? And you end up losing a decision.
You know, it is frustrating, but that's the thing. Again, you have to be the best fighter you can be to make sure that doesn't happen to you. You know, I made a mistake of getting laid on, and that's my fault. Nobody should ever be able to lay on me, so we went back to the drawing board, and we think we scramble a lot better now. So
and that's good advice for up-and-coming fighters. Don't make excuses. You know, get better, admit you have a fault or a weakness, and turn that into a positive, like yourself. Let me ask you something. Who's been your inspiration through your journey in MMA?
You know, to tell you the truth, my inspiration, you know, I really can't say just one person, but, you know, I see how successful other guys are, and now I'm real good friends with some of them. Or like I see how successful a guy like Jesse Zigan is, my old teammate back in Springfield,
right?
And see how happy he is when his life, you know. And I want to be like that too. I want to be able to provide for my baby, provide for, you know, my girlfriend, and I want to be able to provide things that I've never had. So the inspiration comes from pretty much my team and teammates, how successful they are and how happy they are in their life drives me to want to be as successful as them.
So, you know, pretty much what you're saying is you need to hang out. If you want to be successful, you need to hang out with successful people. And, you know, success breeds success. And I totally agree with you on that one. And that's what we're trying to do at MMA Mayhem Radio, to the best of our abilities. As far as this fight goes, do you have any idea at all who you're going to be fighting?
No, not as right now. Hopefully we hear something back today.
And is it a 135 contest, bantamweight?
Yes.
Right.
I will only be fighting at 135 from here on out. I won't fight catchweights anymore. I won't, because you don't fight catchweights in the UFC.
Right.
You don't take a fight at 145 in the UFC unless you jump weight classes. So from here on out, Andrew Whitney was staying at 135 only. I won't be fighting at my weight class at 145 at a catchweight. I won't do that anymore. I'm going to be smart about my career, and I'm I'll fight anybody any day of the week. But I'm going to have to be smart about my career as of right now.
And you talk about weight, and you talk about making weight. When you're looking from the outside, looking into the Tough Show, and you're looking at recent UFC events where guys aren't making weight, or guys get on the Tough Show, don't make weight, what's your thoughts on that? That's a huge opportunity that you just kind of let slip by the wayside. What's your thoughts?
I think it's unprofessional. I think it's disrespectful. If you sign a contract to do something, if you sign a contract to fight, if you sign a contract to make weight, and I think you should do, as a man, you should live up to your expectations, because on the show, that's an opportunity for someone to do something great.
Right.
You just took somebody's opportunity and you didn't even make weight. I think it's disrespectful. I think it's uncalled for. And I don't think those guys should even get a shot at coming back into the UFC unless you really prove that you've changed your ways.
Yeah.
But if you don't make weight in the UFC, yes, give up 25% of your purse, and if you lose, you should probably get cut.
Yeah. You talk about getting your purse cut. We looked at Bigfoot Silva and TRT and VADA testing. What's your opinion on all the testing? Should guys get tested right the day before they go into the cage? And what's your thoughts on TRT at the moment?
My thoughts on TRT. I've actually been told to cycle down before. I've actually been told to get off whatever I'm on if I'm gonna be on that hot sheet, because I'm an extremely big 35er and I'm lean at 35. I walk around about 165, but I'm pretty stout at 165. So it's actually a compliment to me when people think I'm on something. But this is all natural. But my opinion on that is, pretty much stop cheating. I think guys should be tested out throughout the camp. I think they should be just pop drug tests, just like you do at a regular job. If somebody suspects you of something, pop them. Let's see what happens. Because if I'm going into the cage and fighting all natural, I want to fight another all natural guy. But I mean, TRT doesn't help somebody. It doesn't help nobody's chin out. You can still get knocked down on TRT, so it doesn't matter to me. You come in the cage with TRT, I'll still knock you out.
Yep, and fans, you want to follow Andrew on Twitter at AndrewWhitney01. Andrew, how'd you get the nickname?
My old jiu-jitsu coach, Gabriel, actually gave me the nickname The Beast because him and Jesse Zykin used to just call me a freak athlete. I did things I could pick guys up, I could just out-muscle guys. I got the name, from just being so fast and explosive, and I guess just being a beast of what I do.
And you got that heavy right that knocks people out in a blink of an eye. What do you feel 2014 will bring for you in your career?
I'm keeping my fingers crossed in 2014. I'm just going to continue to keep working hard. I'm with the best team in the world, and I hope this is my year. I'm hoping I could crack off this one win in MaxxFC. If I don't get a phone call, turn around, fight one more time early in the year, and I'm hoping by at least the summertime I can get a phone call from the UFC. It's like a start showing, it's like a start getting paid for these knockouts.
Yeah, Andrew, it's been a pleasure. I appreciate your time being on here with Sitting Down with Storm. You got any affiliates or sponsors you want to make mention of before I let you go?
Yeah, I would like to thank everybody at Springfield Fight Club, Jesse Zykin, Josh Downey, Gabe Wolfsack coming, everybody at my old gym, Rick Weimer has got this thing started in me, and now I have to fulfill something. But everybody at Springfield Fight Club, all my family members in Kansas City and Georgia, everybody in American Top Team, Nicholas, Dustin Poirier, Prasad, Big, Mikey Rod, Tommy, you know, everybody, Brad Pickett, Mike Brown, Keisha Torres, everybody who makes Andrew Whitney, you know, wake up in the morning is a blessing in my life. My son, Lincoln, love you guys.
Well, MMA Mayhem Maniacs, you're going to want to stay tuned, and you're going to want to check out this man, February 1st, MaxxFC 23, Rumble in Paradise, in Daytona Beach, Florida. He doesn't know who his opponent's going to be, but he's going to turn on beast mode when he steps in that cage. Andrew, have a great day.
Thank you.